In about 2 months, I'm going to be running 50K over 1,800 meters of elevation, and I don't have a training plan. If you're a runner, that probably sounds reckless, maybe a little arrogant. Most people training for an ultra are following a spreadsheet with every run mapped out for 16 weeks. I'm not. And the answer isn't that I'm just winging it, and I think it's something a lot of experienced runners do without ever naming it. But first, let's talk about what happens to your body when you run 50K. Here's the thing about running this far. Somewhere around the 2-hour mark, your body runs out of fuel. Your muscles and liver can only store enough carbohydrates and glycogen to keep you fueled for about 90 minutes to 2 hours of hard running. A 50K takes most people anywhere from 4 to 7 hours. So you'll hit a wall where the easy fuel is simply gone and your body has to switch over to burning fat to keep you moving. That's why ultra running is as much an eating problem as it is a fitness problem. And that's just the fuel. Mechanically, every downhill step is your quads slamming on the brakes. Over thousands of those steps, you're causing many, many microscopic tears in your muscles. Markers of muscle breakdown can spike to 10, 20, 50 times their baseline level. Your heart gets fatigued. Your kidneys take a hit. Your gut rebels. Your whole system floods with inflammation. On paper, someone who's just run an ultra looks like someone with a controlled injury. But here's the paradox, and this is the part I love. Your body is built to absorb every little bit of it. All of that damage is temporary and reversible. But more than that, the damage is the signal. The torn muscle signals to build back stronger. The depleted system demands to build more capacity. You don't just survive the distance, you adapt to it, you overcome, and you become stronger. And it's not just the body. The mind and the spirit go through the exact same arc, the same breaking down, the same adaptation, the same build. Hours alone on a trail will take you to some dark places, and learning to sit in that discomfort, to keep moving when everything is telling you to stop, that builds a kind of resilience you can't get any other way. For now, just hold on to that idea. Stress, then adaptation. Break down, rebuild stronger. I'm going to come back to this later when I talk about how I actually train. So here's the goal. In about 2 months, I'm going to be running the Freaky Creaky 50K in Vernon, BC. Now, this will be the third 50K that I've run, but the first since our little guy was born about 2 years ago now. And I'll be honest, when he arrived, this part of my life took a bit of a backseat. And it had to. Work, family, the sheer logistics of keeping a little human alive, all that came first. Running became a thing that I'd get to eventually, and eventually does have a way of never arriving. So this race is me coming back. I've got 2 months to get my mind and my body back into a place where I can run 50K over 1,800 meters of elevation. Now, this isn't my first rodeo. I ran the Broken Goat 52K back in 2023 and the Wild Horse Traverse 50K back in 2024. For both those, my training was pretty simple. I'd gradually build up my weekly distance, add a bit more each week, throw in some strength work on the off days, run 3 to 4 times a week, do upper body, lower body splits on the other days. But if I'm being totally honest, I never really had a plan. I had an idea, I had a direction, I knew the general principle: run more, run longer, get stronger, and I just sort of trust myself to fill in the blanks day to day. And it worked. I finished both of them. So I asked myself this time, do I build myself a real structured plan now that I have way less time than I used to, or do I lean in harder to the method that I've already been utilizing? I went with leaning in, but with one big change. structure around my time, not around my runs. Because here's the reality. Adding a kid to an already busy life means that every hour needs to earn its place. So my workouts are usually happening now at about 5 a.m. And that little sliver of time before he wakes up and we got to get ready and go to work, or after everyone's gone to bed. Occasionally we'll sneak in a little run in the middle of the day and just put him in the stroller and we go with that. Within that, here's the actual shape of it. Right now I'm running about 30 to 40 kilometers a week, and I've been adding about 10 kilometers to my weekly volume every month, so that by middle of September I want to be hitting about 50 to 60 kilometers on average every single week. I'll keep alternating strength on my non-running days, and so that's either push-pull splits or upper body, lower body splits. And I'm not just ramping straight up, I'm using periodization. I build volume and intensity for 3 weeks, and on the 4th week I deliberately back off, decrease the volume, decrease the intensity, and I let my body recover and rebuild. I then climb again from there. Does that sound familiar? It's the same pattern we were talking about earlier. Stress, then adaptation. You have to give the body the signal, then the space to rebuild. A plan that's all climb with no recovery, that's not a plan, that's an injury waiting to happen. So if I'm using real principles like periodization, why do I say I don't have a plan? And it's because I'm not using a fixed script. I'm adjusting based on what my body's telling me. And I want to be honest about that, because saying, I just know my body may sound like a cop-out. But here's what it actually looks like. I do have a background in exercise physiology and kinesiology, so I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and not just what to do. If I wake up at 5 a.m. and my legs are trashed from a workout a couple days before, I might not just grind it out because the spreadsheet says so. Maybe I'll adjust and do another routine that day. Maybe I'll take a recovery day. On the other hand, if I'm feeling strong and I'm feeling good, maybe I'll push out a few more miles. Maybe I'll add another workout on when I get back to the house. The principles are fixed, the execution flexes. And that's the difference. The destination stays the same, but I might adjust the route as I get there. Let me be clear. This is not for everyone. If you're new to ultras, if you're new to running in general, please follow the plan. It helps protect you from injury and it does set you up for success. But I have been doing this for a while, so I can read the signals, and frankly, it's just something that comes with time. But for me, at this stage, with the life that I've got, this is what works. So I'm curious, when you train for something big, do you plan everything out weeks in advance, or do you just kind of go with the flow? Let me know down below in the comments, and stick around, because we're going to be going through this whole journey, all the good days and all the ugly 5 a.m. ones, all the way to the start line of the Freaky Creaky. Thank you all for sticking around. Let's see if this no plan actually holds up.